Hey guys, it's me Ole, and if you watched my last week's video, you may know that I found this, the BlackBerry KEYtwo, in my apartment. And I decided to use this phone for a week and decide if it's still usable in 2023, which is about 5 years after its release in 2018. So without further ado, let's get into it. So after using it for a week, I have to say it is still usable. If you look at it from the outside, it still looks like a modern phone, and a pretty beautiful one at that. I got many compliments for the design of the phone, and I got actually many people very confused about the phone and about what it is and if it's still a BlackBerry, and everyone was saying the same thing. Are they still producing phones? Is that a BlackBerry? Is it usable? Can you do Instagram on this phone? And yes, it is usable, but let's get into more detail. So if we stay on the outside of the device, the first thing that you see is its keyboard. And it's one of the last phones that actually featured a physical keyboard. And it's a very special one at that. Well, if you remember the BlackBerry Priv, which was the first Android phone that BlackBerry produced with a physical keyboard, it wasn't very nice. It didn't have the BlackBerry style clickiness, it didn't have the BlackBerry style size of the keys. And I think the BlackBerry KEYtwo really nailed the keyboard. It's very clicky, it's very responsive, and it's just a beautiful to type on. You get the muscle memory you get with like a keyboard on your computer, so you can type without looking. And it's also touch sensitive, so you can scroll on the keyboards to, for example, scroll through a feed, maybe adjust the cursor on your text, you can delete text, you can swipe up suggestions, and so on. So it is a very nice keyboard indeed. And another thing it has is a fingerprint sensor in its spacebar. So if you just lay your finger on the spacebar, it actually unlocks the phone. And that works very nicely. So if we just stay on the outside of the device, on the back you'll see a rubberized texture, which is quite a good idea because it's more about utility, this phone, and not about the design. Wow, it still does look very nice. So the rubberized back just makes it much easier to hold. It has a better grip than a glass back or an aluminum back. And I just think that it's a nice touch. So if you go further up, you'll see the camera, and it actually has two lenses, a telephoto lens and a normal lens. And as far as image quality goes, it's very bad, especially if you use it with modern day social media, for example, taking a quick image and loading it up to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's just hideous. You have to say in modern standards, and even if you look at the standards back in 2018, it's not good. And here's just a quick comparison that I just did on my Instagram, so take a look at that. This phone, as beautiful as it looks, doesn't have the best image quality for Instagram stories. Quality of the iPhone that I'm using. And this is the video quality of my BlackBerry KEYtwo. And well, I guess you can see the difference. And I think that just says it all. And I don't really get why they did it, because even though, if you may say it's a business phone, it's not intended to use it for social media, I think a great camera is still important if you send around documents, if you have to send around maybe different states of construction and so on. A camera is very important in today's world, and even if you're just using it as a business phone. So as I said, I used the BlackBerry KEYtwo as a daily phone for a week, and with that comes the software. And because it is Android, it is very much usable in 2023, but a lot of things changed, especially on the BlackBerry KEYtwo, that pretty much aren't acceptable anymore. For example, BlackBerry's own features like the BlackBerry Hub that they had on BlackBerry 10, which is your messaging center, it doesn't work on this phone anymore. It says I have to update the app, but it says that this app is not supported anymore on my phone. So that is kind of ridiculous. And also, it has been updated so many months ago, so you don't get the new security patches, new software updates, new software fixes. So this phone is pretty much dead at this point. Another issue I ran into is that while most apps are working, even though you maybe have like black bars at the side because of the odd aspect ratio of the screen, some apps just crashed on me while I was using them, and a quick restart just fixed that, but that is something you have to keep in mind while using the BlackBerry KEYtwo in today's world. Also, it also nearly just gave up on me. Like one evening, it just turned itself on and off again. So often, I was afraid that it might explode, but the next day it fixed itself. So here's that. If you look at the screen, while it is a very sharp and modern screen, it does look a bit dull and it doesn't have great saturation. So if you compare it to a modern day smartphone screen, and even I think back in the day in 2018, the screen isn't that nice. It's okay, but it's quite dull. So while the BlackBerry KEYtwo is still usable in today's world, I don't think that it's on par with today's smartphones. Obviously, it's 5 years old. But if you keep in mind that this phone is about 5 years old and it was like one of the last Android BlackBerry phones, even though it was produced by TCL, to see that apps aren't supported anymore, that come shipped with the phone and are an essential part of the phone, like the BlackBerry Hub, that they just don't work anymore, I think that is not very okay. So don't hate me for what I'm saying now. If you like the simplicity that BlackBerry 10 had back in the day, and you want that in today's world, I think the best option for you, if you want supported apps and just be in the modern world of smartphones, I think the best option is to go with an iPhone. It's simple, it has all the features you need, it doesn't have more, it doesn't have less, it just works. And that is what I need in my everyday life. I need a phone that works, that doesn't crash on me, and that I just can use every day. Maybe, I think actually the battery on an iPhone is less good than on the BlackBerry KEYtwo, but that is something that I would accept. But I guess it just comes down to your preference. So if you like Android more, then go ahead, get an Android. You can also, if you like BlackBerry, get the BlackBerry KEYtwo, but I think you won't be happy on the long run. So thanks for watching, everyone. I want to hear your opinion. Do you still use a BlackBerry KEYtwo, KEY1, BlackBerry Priv? And is it still usable for you guys? So let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to follow me on my social media channel, Instagram, you'll see it right now. And we'll see each other in my next video next week. Okay, see you then. Bye bye.